I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when I get greenside, I can get the yips. I can thin the ball, I can chunk it and it shoots out a bit right, just not good outcomes. However, after this lesson, I completely dial in my greenside chips, start with just correcting my setup, working on low point, talking about different release patterns. It's just all very informative and I've just learned so much from it. And in fact, after this lesson, I shot one of the best rounds that I've played. I shot a 12 over 84. But if you look at my scorecard, in the front nine, it was actually a disaster. But that was due to my drives and my approach shots. But my greenside work saved my scores relatively. And then on the back nine, I figured out my driving and my approach shots, but my greenside work stayed consistent. And that's why I was able to get a 1 over back nine. And I was so confident that day that even when I was like on the fringe where I could have easily putted the ball, I felt confident just grabbing my wedge and sticking it close. That's just how good I felt after this lesson. And I know that you might be thinking like these little greenside chips, like should I actually spend time practicing them or should I even spend a full lesson working on them? And truthfully, that's what I thought too. Like it seems kind of like a waste to be doing that. But after this lesson, I think that this has been the greatest contributor to lowering my scores. So I hope that you see some great results from this as well too. Now I apologize that I haven't been posting these lessons as frequently, even though I have been taking them weekly. I just got a bit backlogged with other life stuff and I haven't had the time to actually edit them. However, my schedule is going to be clearing up soon, so I will be able to get them out regularly going forward. But I am going to be posting an update video on my life and just how it affects my golf going forward, so be on the lookout for that. And so this lesson was from a month and a half ago, and since then I've kind of forgotten a couple of things, and I've noticed that my greenside work has gotten a little bit sloppy, not as tight and clean. But after rewatching and editing this video, I feel like I've just relearned everything again and I feel confident again greenside and I'm excited to get back out on the course and try it out. So I hope that you guys have the same kind of impact as well too and you see your scores drop after watching this lesson. And guys, if you're new here, my name is Chonger. I'm an average golfer with the goal of trying to get to scratch. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Follow along on this journey with me as I document my weekly lessons, talk about different gear and gadgets that help me improve, and so much more. I hope to see you guys along with me on this journey. And with that being said, let's dive into this greenside chipping lesson.
If I was standing here, do you want to pick that ball up? And just throw it to me. It's the right amount of arm speed, right?
Yeah.
You're not like, I'm not throwing this back at you. You're not swinging really fast and then trying to let the ball go in between.
Yeah.
You're also not swinging way too slow. So when we're standing greenside here and you think about like that arm swing, there's no point am I doing anything that has like way more speed than I need, right? It's like it matches the same rhythm. If I'm only tossing it there, the club should move kind of that slow. Like it doesn't take anything for me to hit this ball 5 yards.
Yep.
And 5 yards is right there. Like it's hard not to hit it 5 yards. Right?
I feel like maybe a fear that I have is if I move too slow, the ball's not going to go anywhere.
Okay, so why is that though? So what's the fear? It's the contact, right?
Yeah.
It's the contact. It's not the fear that you don't have enough speed. So if the ball's just sitting in air and the club just swings through like this, that's how far it goes. If I hit the contact right, it's the contact that's getting you scared. And it's probably the contact with the ground that makes you scared and then not hit the ground, which makes it worse because then you go levels all over the place. So the problem that happens, and that I think I see the most often, is just that little level change that people don't know that's happening. And it usually comes out of your right hip. It usually is something that goes like this to help the ball. It's like a weird reaction that we have that we don't have in a practice swing most of the time. People will stand there looking at the hole, they'll make these practice swings, their body barely moves and they can brush the same spot in the grass. The technique doesn't even matter, but I'm just brushing the grass in the same spot, never ever taking a divot. Then I get the ball there and I go like that and it's like, oh, divot.
Yeah.
What? So something changed for me to go from just brushing it in the same spot over and over again to like, I'm closer to the ground now.
Yeah.
That's like a level, something happened. So for me, when I watch people chip, I see a lot of this right leg flex through impact. When my leg flexes, I am getting closer to the ground. So if we keep the right leg up, not forget about the left one. If you keep the right one up, the left one's gonna stabilize too. But if I keep this right one kind of posted, then when I make my swings, one, I'm not using rotation. That's more speed, I don't need it. And two, I'm probably just hitting the same spot in the ground. You lock your legs out in putting, and we never ever worry about missing the ball putting, right? So we just gotta lock it out. Now, when I lock out that leg, it feels like everything's gonna go super robotic, structured. But we gotta soften this up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because when you threw that ball to me right there, you didn't throw it like, you didn't do this and then do this.
Yeah.
Right? It was like, it was this. It was just this like, there's my arm swing. So if you've built a frame to stand up on top, then you get to just do that with your arms. Just be like soft. I would say that when we want this ball coming up a little higher, if I take a setup just for a second, I know you're kind of getting ready to go.
Yep.
But if I take a setup anticipating the shot that you want to hit, which is kind of soft and landing here, the ball's probably more forward in my stance.
Okay.
And I've probably got it in a position where I'm stealing a little bit of bounce, but I don't want, like, if I'm leaning this back here, this ball's gonna come out hot. And then I have to really, really slow it down, and then I can do weird things like this, right? Where I'm like, oh, I have too much speed there. I want this thing in a position where I've got loft on it. If I keep that leg in my spot, and I just go softly, just like that arm toss, that's it right there.
Yep.
So this locked out, I set up in position here, and I just drop the club on the golf ball, but I just keep my level and I'll get through fine. My grip pressure on these shots goes way down to like 2 or 3 out of 10. Like the club feels loose in my hands. Let's see, because that's, again, I go back to like that throw that you threw me.
Yep.
You weren't squeezing the ball tight. It was
No.
just like resting in your fingers. So let's just make it real feel oriented. This is a great place to butcher it. You can make a mistake here like crazy, but let's figure out if you got hands, right? Like we're really just looking for, like, when you see someone hit a really good chip shot,
Yeah.
the immediate reaction is like, whoa, nice hands, or
Yeah.
like good technique or something, right?
Yeah.
That's what we want to build for you, is like, let's just get optically like a really buttery kind of delivery here.
You know, it's visually, like when the ball looks a little down like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like that's when I kind of get a little less confident. Like even if the ball's on a tight lie,
Yeah.
I feel a lot better actually.
Of course. And even the pros at the highest level, they love it if you can see the back of the golf ball. If the ball's clean, I can do anything to it and it doesn't matter what it's sitting on.
Yep.
Because I'm gonna hit the ball first, most of the time intentionally. So here we're kind of doing the same thing. We're just running the grooves into the golf ball a little bit, kind of making it go slow. So that little stick for you there, where you're like not able to exit the ground, is like a down and pull this way.
Yep.
You want your grip, as you go through here, this grip is gonna pull up into you. This like alleviates a little bit of speed. We don't want to drive anything into the golf ball. We're kind of pulling the handle up a little bit. Right. We're also letting the club release into the golf ball. So it kind of looks, from where you're standing, it would look like this.
Okay.
It would look like where I get to let this thing kind of slide underneath it. Yeah.
Oh, so I'm actually releasing it?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so remember, you just tossed it to me there.
Yeah.
So that's the speed that you want.
That's what I do a lot.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It just looks really stiff, right? It looks really mechanical, and then it looks like, because of that, it's hard for you to just be soft enough to sort of deliver the shot. Also, the practice swings, can I jump in here again for a second? The practice swings, you should be able to kind of repeat these things in like a little sequence without sticking in here. You should be able to move through that grass. And if you watch where that line is going of my grass, it's going towards the hole. It's not cutting across as much. If I cut across, I'm deflecting. Now I need more speed.
Okay.
Now I need to have more speed here to take a percentage of the speed and go this way. If I just go forward with loft, like literally just swinging this thing straight through, then now I can kind of run the grooves in a little bit more, and I can kind of anticipate the reaction off of the face a lot easier when I can run the grooves in softly there, right? Like it's almost getting away from me, but I'm making contact always kind of in center, maybe a little towards the toe on some of these, but mostly in the center and running it into the grooves a little bit. So when I take that setup, I just want to feel like I can get through that grass there. So my eyes just stay there. There's no chance I'm going to not hit, I dropped my knee there. There's no chance I'm not going to hit grass if it's sitting in the grass, right? Like even if it's sitting up on fluffy grass here, as I come into the golf ball, there are blades of grass that are going to get in the way. just a few of them.
Yep.
So anytime I just get a ball sitting down in the grass, I'm not trying to stab it out of there. I just want to move through that grass. It's really not that strong. Even if it was wet and long, your club should move through it pretty easily. Good, yeah, just soften that handle a little bit. I want you to get really tall. Yeah, stand really tall, and then you can kind of like let that club release underneath you. Now we want way less of a swing and way more release of the club head. Feel like we can just let it kind of fall back and forth, yeah? See, this thing basically wants to do this by itself. So that's kind of the tempo that I want to take with it is, if I just get this thing going and I just get the release of this energy correctly, then wherever a ball is, if I can just put that on a golf ball, the ball's just going to come off at the correct speed. Okay. Good. Super tall. Yeah. Good. Swing it straight through. You can choke up on it a little bit, make it shorter, make it lighter. These are nice things. It's better?
Still feeling kind of
Yeah.
weight on front foot and
Yes.
still thinking about hitting down on it.
We're trying to
Or-
hit down a little bit, but this is not a shot that we're trying to drive spin into, because the mistake could be the ball just takes off on us. We're trying to float this thing a little bit from this spot here, just for this particular one.
Okay.
Great. That's great. That's soft. So you just leave everything really, really steady. And what ends up happening is your arms and your hands just sort of operate underneath you. It's like if we had 10 power sources, we've turned 9 of them off. And we're trying to use as little power as possible. So no twisting, no jumping, no leaning, no de-lofting. Like we're leaving some speed off the table. Oh, squirrel attack. He's like, one of these has to be a nut. No, that's a golf ball.
Did that one I just kind of decel or?
Yeah, you didn't really get through the grass there.
Yeah, I still have to actually.
Yeah, it can't be a jagged kind of drop here. It's got to sort of get through that grass. Yeah, great. Like awesome. Really good. Kind of runs out on you a
Yeah,
little
it
bit.
does run out.
Yeah.
So this is when I put it so it's kind of more down on this. How does that, because there's obviously going to be grass that interacts kind of
Sure.
before it. How do I think about
the unpredictability is the spin. So when we get the ball sitting down and down and down, and we're going to probably spin it less.
Yep.
Less spin also means less height. So the ball's going to come out a little lower with a little less spin. That means it's going to run out more.
Yeah.
If we kind of anticipate that contact. So we have to be careful on a shot like this where it's like, we know it can run over the hill and go a little bit long for us.
Yeah.
So you probably want to make sure that you're able to sort of, land this ball short enough and kind of play defensively in this space. But anytime it's sitting in the rough, the ball's off the ground, right? It's higher than it would be sitting on hard pan, cart path, or fairway. So there's material under there, for sure. Yeah, really good with the right leg there. It was nice. You see it just comes out a little lower and then releases a bit more.
Yep.
That's like the best equation I think I ever heard about spin is just like it's most of the rough that affects your golf ball 20%, but it's height and spin. It takes 20% of spin off and it takes 20% of height off. So you just get these like lower knuckle balls that kind of release a little bit more. Now that's like so general, but it's not a nice way to look at it that the rough really is just a percentage effect on spin and height, which in turn is like how you get your distance. This looks good. Good, camp the knee. Yeah, great. Great. Easy.
Yep.
Take it onto the fairway. Not that you would putt it, or not that you would chip it from here, but like this is a sandy kind of bare lie.
Yep.
You told me that now that it's clean,
Yeah.
this is your favorite. It's so much easier than the rough. And I would agree with you 100%. But what you got to do is you got to source out a piece of ground that kind of looks like what your ball is sitting on. There's enough of this around here that you could probably find. You're not far off of it, right? It's kind of sandy, it's kind of bare, but you want to just interact with something that's really close to it.
Yep.
And sort of build that sensation of what that feels like, of how you're going to move through here for this shot. And again, you could do a million things here that isn't a chip shot.
Yeah.
But for our purposes, you're super confident, you're trying to chip this in, so you would select a wedge to try to cover this corner here or cover the edge of that grass and then let it release.
Because now that I have more access to the ball,
Yeah.
is that when now I would kind of take it more the back foot? I can take it lower now.
I would say yeah, for sure. You're kind of answering your own question there. You now have options. Now you're thinking about other things.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think when people are really successful in hitting golf shots is when their options are limited. Like one option. Like you have the punch out that you have to hit between the trees, and you have no other exit, and you just like focus up and hit it between the trees, and it's all you thought about from the moment you got there.
Yeah.
And then we get this shot, and I'm like, pick one of 1 billion ways to get this to the hole.
Yeah.
And then it's your own like recipe book of what do I call on at the right time to, like, you know, execute this shot. What's the one that you gravitate to? Is it this one? Would this be the one that you're like, okay, I'm gonna, you know, pinch it a little bit, spin it a little bit, drive it a little lower, check it. This is what I feel confident with. Is that the shot?
Yeah.
Okay, great. That was well executed. It really was. Push that ball just a little bit to the right. If you want to hit another one, that was great. I just want to see where that face kind of works its way through.
Sure.
But I thought that was really good. Setup looks great. You're tall. Keeping those legs long and straight. No bend in them. Nice. It's pretty good, Graham. I don't know that we're taking that back. Not that one, anyways. I mean, you've kind of got the feel for this shot now. So this is where I'd be like, okay, I think we've scripted this one out. Let's try something else right away.
Yep.
And then realistically, we've got a bunch of pins on the screen.
Yep.
You probably wouldn't get this shot ever again. Maybe in months, you'd get the exact same shot.
Yeah.
So I like to kind of move it around. So for practice purposes,
Yep.
and for executing the shots, I think we start to just work our way around the green and take on different ones, or we can hit from one shot and kind of like hit to some different pins here and just sort of see how you'd play those.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah? So maybe let's start with this one on the high side here.
Okay.
Do you read your chips? Do you want to reset your camera at all or anything?
Yeah, I can also just grab another angle
Yeah.
of it.
Like let's just assume that you're in this position and it isn't, you know, it's not that you hit it beside the green and 2 on a par 5 and you're trying to make eagle. Let's assume that this is you trying to save a par somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Trying to get up and down somewhere. So I think if you have the time and this is a detail-oriented shot, you just want to explore a little bit so that you're not like, oh, wow, it breaks the other way up there. So what I would do is just take a half walk sort of thing. So
Sure.
we'll hit from the rough, I would say.
Are we gonna hit from the rough for that shot?
Yeah, we're gonna stay in the rough.
Okay.
When you miss a green, how often when you miss a green left and right are you hitting from fairway? It might
Yeah,
be 0.
That's true.
Like it might be 0.
Yeah.
So if your distance control is okay,
Yeah.
you probably never get a chip shot off the fairway.
Yeah.
Unless you're like on purpose playing it short or coming into a par 5 again or something that you might leave it there.
Yep.
But most of the chip and pitch shots that you'll be greenside
Yep.
are on uneven lies, out of the rough, in the sand. Like that's it, really. So we might as well stay here, get comfortable here, and then, you know, feel really lucky and fortunate when we get
Yep.
a ball sitting in the fairway.
Yeah. Like you say, let's practice more difficult, right?
Sure. Well, let's practice like reality.
Well, yeah.
Like you're gonna hit out of the rough.
Yeah.
That's inevitable that if you miss a green, which you're also gonna do that. If you tell me that you're gonna hit 18 of 18 greens, that's incredible. And we just sign you up for the PGA Tour. They'll take you right now. It's not gonna happen. You're gonna miss greens and you're gonna hit out of the rough. Okay, so I would always kind of walk up, and really what I'm looking for is I'm not aim point or tour reading this thing. I'm just looking for like a fall line.
Yeah.
Like if I had a bowling ball in my hand and I just wanted to roll it out there, what would this thing do? Where do I get to kind of crest it? It's like I gotta get it here somewhere. It
Yeah.
kind of goes a little bit this way. that's enough information. I'm not, you know, like from where we are, it'd be wicked if I hold it, but I just want to know when the ball starts to lose its speed and it's going to break more, what's going to happen. The thing I can't see is, because we're sitting in the shade here, is I can't really see the landing, but it feels like it almost goes like this way and then goes back that way. I'm also saying that because I think I know that about this green, because I've taught here for a few years. The first bounce will actually kick us in the right direction. So we have a ball that lands and goes this way, and a break that goes this way. It sounds a lot like a straight shot, but that's okay. Where do you think you're gonna land this?
If I'm thinking about this shot,
Yeah.
I'm thinking because it's going to go a bit lower because I guess we're in the rough.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it will probably roll out a bit.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking I'm gonna try and land it like here.
You're gonna try to land it there? I landed it short of yours.
Oh, okay.
Just saying. You'd have to land it really high.
Yeah.
Like, I'd have to really go upwards to get that thing landing soft. Like, I'd have to take that flight and put it up there to get that to like stop in that time frame. So like immediately what I see is,
yeah,
I look at like first point of the green that doesn't have a lot of slope, that I know I can kind of predict the bounce.
Yeah.
Like first point of contact. So I'm looking down, you're maybe looking out towards the target a little bit more.
Yeah.
It might be also just the golf courses and style of golf courses that you play, where the greens maybe are a little slower, a little bit more receptive, that you can do these things like toss it up there, where I'm like, I think if I get this on the line like a putt, that's better.
Okay.
So let's look. My initial reaction is probably to land it like here somewhere.
Okay.
Like have it touch the ground here, have it run into the sunshine and let it sort of cruise to its kind of completion. But I'd say like, that's our spot here.
Okay.
This is one that you could probably take the lower trajectory one. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
See it.
So since we have more room to actually run it than the last one, am I thinking now a bit more back of the stance so that way I can get a bit more ball first?
You might even be changing clubs, right? You might even be thinking like, oh, I just need to take a less lofted club and
just kind of hit a softer.
Yeah, you could.
shot.
You definitely could. You don't have to. You could take that 60 and just do, like you said, put it back in the stance a little bit and kind of get it to.
Or I can just hit a higher lofted club, but same kind of shot as the one I just hit before.
Yeah. Try not to swing it too much across. The same sort of idea. You're kind of swinging it up the line a little bit. It'll just help you exit too. Yeah. I mean, that's not bad, right? That's probably a couple feet short of where you want it. It's a couple feet short of the hole.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's a little bit more pace on this thing. Yeah, that's just the path for you. You just got a little bit too much across going on.
That's why it's kind of like cut a little bit.
Yeah, kind of corkscrewing off there. So I want you to putt it. Like feel like you're swinging a putter, that it's swinging straight back and through. So here's the straight line right here. So swing your club along that line right there. So it can't be outside of that line ever.
Okay.
Yeah, right? So it's gonna have a little bit of an arc to it, right? It's gonna come a little inside and release a little inside, but it's just like a little half circle. So where your hands are is the problem.
Okay.
Where you're set up. You can do that same thing again. When you're ready to go, you can just set up there. Where your hands are at the time that you're about to hit the golf ball is the problem. So get yourself ready to go like you're gonna hit it. Because what I saw was kind of like that. Is that your hands got really far left of almost your lead hip. Okay. And your shoulders then are really, really far across your body or open, and then just gonna follow your shoulders. I'm gonna take your club for a second, if you can stand there.
Yep.
I'm gonna take this setup. Do you see where my hands are?
More in the center?
They're in front of me and underneath me. okay? If I want to have my hands forward,
Yeah.
they would be forward but here. They wouldn't be there.
Okay.
Because then I got to do that. And my shoulders, your shoulders were really, really open. So I can kind of get this feet close together in the middle of my stance and that my hands way more in front of me. And then now this golf ball comes out a lot more straight and true and rolling and almost. So from here, now I can swing this club here and I like a putting motion or arc, way more control than where you were set up here, shoulders there, and then trying to fight that club across your body or through. We just want this thing, my arms are kind of in front of me, and now I'm just making this little release motion in front here. Really easy.
Okay.
Like super easy for me to be able to just go, okay, back of the golf ball. Back of the golf ball. My eyes aren't moving, nothing's moving. Back of the golf ball, back of the golf ball, back of the golf ball. I just get to do the same thing over and over again.
Yep.
Okay, so really like, here's your putting setup. Just make it narrow, but keep the hands in front of you a lot more. So shoulders are square to your target. Almost will feel like you're close to your target from the way that you've been setting up previously.
Actually, maybe I'll get a side angle so I can actually review.
Yeah, sure.
I feel like when you said that, I was like, my hands, I actually don't really feel that. I think I have to work on, I guess, my awareness of my setup.
And just like audit the setup a little bit.
Because
the
like,
setup is
so before I was kind of a bit more open.
Yeah.
And like this.
Yeah, and your hands were there.
Okay.
Yeah, and we want your hands just in front of you. So just set up like it's a putter. Yeah, and then just put your feet close together.
I don't even want to be open at all.
No,
almost.
you don't need to.
More
you have loft
square.
on your putter, way more square. You could back up a little bit from it, right? Just a little bit, so you can kind of stand a little taller, get your hands up over top of it. Good. And then this should just, relax here. Lift everything up. So just lift your hands up like that, all the way up. Okay. We want this level. Yeah. Put that shoulder back. There you go. Like you can carry a tray right there.
Okay.
Yeah, so that has to sit there like that. Relax. There you go. Okay, and just drop that down. There you go. Super square.
Yeah.
That's it. You can just hit that golf ball.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, pretty easy.
Yeah.
Right? So that what I just showed you is a great way to figure out what your setup actually looks like, arms and shoulders.
Yeah.
Is like when you're in a setup and you're like, I don't know if I'm open or close, lift that thing up and hold your shoulders level and imagine there's a tray with champagne glasses sitting on your arms.
Yeah.
Like that whole thing's on the ground. We're dumping it. So we want to just like, whoa, okay, just get this right here. Get it in front of you. Now, if I want a little less loft, I do it here with the wrists, but I don't like twist my whole body to get it up and in front. So just right there is great. If you want a little bit of like loft off of it, the club just goes back here, but your hands are right there. They don't need to be like up over there with your shoulders over there. It just creates too many variables for us to be consistent. It's right there, and then you can just drop it down.
So when I'm thinking about lining up my shoulders, it's like
right.
Square.
Right, like,
right.
You know, like my heels would be against the wall. My butt would be against the wall. My shoulders would be against the wall. The back of my head's against the wall. Like that's my leveling agent is, if this is like this, then everything that moves in front of me has like a little bit more symmetrical chance. If I'm like here, that club it's gonna be really hard for me to swing this and make sense of it on a plane unless I just have really good hands to kind of help me out. So the setup here, as neutral as we can make it, this is a pretty neutral little shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because when you're coming through, you're naturally going to open up a little, right?
From here, if you just think of it like a little bit of like upper thoracic pivot. So I just go little shoulders, little shoulders. So I go this way and I go this way. Now, if I start at neutral or zero, then this little swivel can be symmetrical and be a little swivel in the exit. If I start in a position where I'm open to my target, then this and where my hands go are probably not in concert.
Yeah.
And then I'll move, then I have hands going, then I have things kind of off kilter. And it really just works better if we can kind of keep everything lined up. We know where it is, we're accountable for it, it's easy to make adjustments. But it also just helps us kind of everywhere else when we're just trying to get really square over a golf ball, over the shot. Yeah, awesome. It looks really nice and it looks really easy that way. It's okay. That's a slight mishit as far as contact goes, but it's fine. And you can just move that ball back so it's in front of your big toe and your toes are together. And that gets your hands more in the middle of your body. But the club has a little less loft on it. Oh, that's such a good setup. That's such a good setup.
Yeah.
Who put that ball there? Okay, so I'm super vain when it comes to looking at my videos of how I set up over the golf ball, how I swing, and I hate it when I look like I'm not supposed to.
Yeah.
When I just watched you set up over this chip, you look like a totally different player. I didn't see the outcome,
Yeah.
but that would catch my eye walking around a green being like, that guy knows what he's doing. That guy looks like he's about to chip this in. Rather than a unique setup where someone will surprise you with a chip and you're like, oh, that actually works. Wow, that's not the weirdest, I guess. Okay, you figured it out. This looks great, man. This looks really good. So hands there, nice, shoulders level, as much as you can. That's good. Yeah, really good. You're not gonna hit them perfect, all of them.
Yeah.
But you probably hit them a lot more square because we're just swinging a really square face on a pretty small little circle, little half circle.
I don't want to actually try my 60 because I initially...
Do it because, yeah, this is a different setup.
This one, would I take higher then, or...
I think it's going to come out higher, right?
Yeah, okay.
Just with the loft. You can make it go a little bit lower, for sure. In fact, you can make it go as low as you'd like. You've got all the loft to steal, but you probably just want to let this one just sort of pop up a little bit. A little softer flight. So like, it kind of slid to the right a little bit. That's a little cut. That's a little like open face cut. Can you hook one?
We'll try.
Okay, so watch this. Let me hook one.
Yep.
For you. And you can see kind of how this releases. So maybe even if you want to watch from just kind of behind. So I'm going to swing this in. A little bit more in to out. I'm just going to let the face kind of release this way. Okay, so this hook pattern has a little bit more late release on it. Ball runs out a little bit more.
Yeah.
The cut pattern, and we can exaggerate that more, but that's all I really need. The cut pattern, when I start to swing it across, I'm going to get some deflection. Usually the ball pops up and to the right. And then I can kind of lose it away from me a bit.
Yeah.
So that's the severe version of what was kind of happening to your shot. We want this thing to kind of hug the ground a bit more. So from my setup here, my hands are in front of me. I'm going to swing this club and kind of let it release over a little bit more. So that intentionally gives me a bit more. I was too fast going through there, but it gets me a bit more of that releasing kind of run.
Yeah.
Not as much of that sort of cut. So you kind of want to just feel like you could hook it. All right, so you kind of stay in your spot and then just let that toe sort of fall over it. Yeah, that's it. That was close. Still sort of started a bit to the right, but at least that ball sort of hung on rather than sort of cutting across. Let's try to do it a little bit more. I know we were also standing on a slight downslope, like the ball's lower than your feet. So that does shoot the ball to the right. If you haven't made an adjustment for it, then that's something that you have to anticipate, is that little squirt to the right. It's a great shot. It's a great shot.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a flag to the left of it.
Yep.
Further. So you probably want this wedge again, 54.
Yeah.
Let's run a few there. I'm gonna take my club off of the ground, trade you. So it's a little bit further, probably has a similar slope to it, but I would still venture out there.
Yeah.
And like I said, you're just exploring kind of like the last little section. Almost try to picture like a gate you got to roll it through to get the right speed. I'd say like, yeah, you're kind of up in here somewhere. Also, you know, like we're lucky it's not fast, because this is that one that if it gets going like a little bit too far, like this is a slow green and it still wants to kind of keep going a little bit. When these are fast, that thing just goes to the bottom of the hill.
Yeah.
So we're okay here, but I would argue that you're playing a little bit more defensively to get this thing to sort of settle in here.
Yep.
Maybe. We'll see.
If I'm aiming for, I guess, like the best outcome, am I trying to like get it past the hole, or just so that way I can also see how it kind of reacts if I have to put it back, or what's kind of the take on that?
Let's see a good analogy here. It's like there's a bullseye out there, and if we focus on the bullseye, like that section, or maybe even like just looking at a dartboard, there's different sections I want to focus on when I'm trying to like make numbers, when I'm trying to run my numbers up on the dartboard. Or I could just throw it at the dartboard and like try to get really close to the center. But then I'm kind of vague on my outcome. If I just want this to get close to the hole, that's okay.
Yeah.
But if I want to be more precise and think like, where do I want to leave this? Because I know I'm going to putt after this, most likely.
Yeah.
Where would I like to leave it that gives me the best chance of making the putt? Or what do I have to acknowledge to make sure that I don't just completely mess this up and put myself in a position where I don't have a chance? So I say defensively, I'm looking at this and I want to kind of favor a little bit on the high side just to protect it. But it's also easier, like where that ball is past the hole down there.
Yeah.
That's a nice place to putt from.
Yeah.
We get an uphill putt, probably less break. You can be a little bit more aggressive with it. So we might have a feeler out here for the first few shots just to see kind of how it settles.
Yep.
But I'd like to think that this is one that we could probably have nice pace, chance to make it, but if it finishes low and left of the hole, it's probably not so bad. And then I'm living like the 1/3, 2/3, like 1/3 carry, 2/3 roll. If you want to just chop that up. Do you ever pace or guess yardage? Because this would be a nice thing to sort of like, if it's a 1/3, 2/3, you could probably like use it. Pacing takes forever.
Yeah.
Like forever. If you're gonna pace your chip shots, the guys that you're playing with are probably gonna leave you after 6 holes and be like, you play by yourself.
Yeah.
But guessing is okay. So from here to like the start of the shadows, maybe about 10 yards. I lay down another 10, I make it through that shadow and I'm almost at, and then another one, I'm at the hole. It's about 30 yards. Okay. I'd say total. Maybe it's 26.
Yeah.
So if I just go fly it to the start of the shadow here or into the shadow, that's 10 yards of carry. That's about 1/3 the way.
Okay.
So that's that shot that has that little kind of cutty spin on it. It shot right of where you thought it was going to come out of, and it landed softly. And you can run this. So I want you to try to like throw a little hook on this thing. So right shoulder back. This is really cool, right? So right shoulder back, keep it inside. Now I can kind of release this thing this way. If this shoulder gets up in here, it's going to be really hard to hook it. You're going to have to use your hands a little bit more. So your shoulder framing is like path. And then your hands can kind of release that face. Yeah, let's see that thing. Let's see a little like nice little release chip shot draw. Little toe over one. I think you just swung too hard. I swung too hard, caught it thin. The combination got us 20 extra yards. Yeah. So remember that for your driver if you want to like really get one. A little faster tempo, thin it. It's gonna go 20 further. I don't think it works like that. So be smooth here too, right? You're pitching at 10. If I was standing out there, that I would have been a little scared with that speed. 10 yards, but you're trying to get it to hook. It's a bit better. Yeah, a bit better. We need 5 more feet and 2 feet to the right, and then you've really sort of zoned this in. So we need 5 feet more carry, probably 2.5 feet more carry. and then a little bit more roll. Yeah, nice.
I think alignment is something I have to work on.
Yeah, and just make it easy, right? Like, you shouldn't be getting into complex setups. They should just be like, okay, I'm standing in front of the golf ball with a loft in my hand, and I can do whatever I want with it. That was pretty good.
Just that.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, there's your distance. That's great. And I showed you hooking a chip and slicing a chip. Really, like if you hit it straight and you just went loft up, loft down, ball back, ball forward, I think you have all the shots you need. When I start doing those things, that's just a little bit of me being creative around the greens, trying to get the ball to react differently for different situations. So for you, it's just going to be helpful for the setup. If you can get this nice little draw where like your body kind of stays here and your hands kind of release. So as you go through, this just sort of stays there. Right? Yeah, there you go. That's the release. Right. Right. A little hot with that release for sure.
That one kind of like launched out, hey?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The trick is that we're hooking this thing, but we're not going crazy fast on it to do it. We're just letting it release. So from where we are, we're just letting that thing release over. So we can still kind of be soft with it. So not like, whoa, here comes the draw.
Okay.
Right? It's just to get spin off the ball. That's it. So we stay up nice and tall, stay really level, and we sort of just chip this thing from in front of us. Yeah. So there's the technique, right? You landed it way short of what you wanted, but it's still kind of scooted out a little bit. And you're like, if you make good contact there, probably it does what we want, and you're not like over swinging this thing or playing too much speed and trying to cut across it or take spin off. It's just like literally a bump with some loft. Nice. And you're just staying nice and tall over it. That's great. What happens when we swing more inside out to the low point?
Goes back.
Does that sound like how your golf ball's been coming out?
Yeah.
Right, so you were a guy who was set up, when you go back and watch the video, you'll see it too, really, really open. So you would be swinging across. If you're swinging left, you're also moving that low point further and further and further and further to the left of the ball or ahead of the ball.
Yeah.
Which means that you were coming down on the golf ball, probably getting some thin ones, probably getting stuck in the ground a little bit. But now we've started to level this path out a little bit, and you're running into the ground because you've moved the low point by moving the axis of this swing, right? We've pitched this thing now a lot shallower, so now we're just running into the grass. So to me, that means the ball just has to come back a little bit. We just want to position it so that where you land this thing now on this circle, closer or more to the, behind the golf ball, that we want the ball there. I think that looks great. Good. Great contact. Nice little release. That's pretty good, just more horsepower. I thought that was really nice, everything.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more speed.
How
does it feel?
As far as the speed, to just take it back farther or actually more tempo?
I like arm swing.
Yeah.
If I'm throwing something to you and you're there, I have a different length of swing. I just need to do this.
Yep.
If you're farther away, I usually swing my arm further.
Okay.
For speed acquisition or distance. So if we do that and we keep the tempo the same, then really all we're doing is the short ones look like this, the long ones look like this, and the longer ones look like this. So the tempo and the rate at this thing falls is still the same. Whether I'm swinging this little swing that's kind of back and forth, or this big swing that's back and forth, I'm just playing off of when that kind of comes through the golf ball.
I think, the setup feels good.
Yeah.
I think, obviously, since we have been focusing on pretty much every other shot of, just irons
Full
or
shots.
just like
full swings. Yeah.
pitches. We're kind of working on hitting down. I think
Yeah.
I've also just graduated more to just kind of swinging more outside because that just promotes a more downward
Sure.
angle of attack.
Sure, yeah, and you just have to remember that like all these things, setup characteristics, club path delivery, face angle, all these things are just variables that if you can predict them, I'm gonna just use an example. A guy who like has a golf swing and a career full of variables, Phil Mickelson. So Phil is like all the wrong things of how to do it, all the wrong shots a lot of the time with incredible ability to execute under like the most intense pressure. These high skill golf shots that are really just his hands being incredible. None of it is what you'd be like, we got to learn Phil's short game, because it would be a disaster for me. Like there'd be golf balls over the trees back there. There'd be some that never leave the, like it's a wild action. But when you're so well practiced in something like that, then you understand that, okay, this amount of this is this amount of this. Now he makes mistakes too, but then you watch the simplicity of like some guys' short games where it looks like, well, that's easy. Looks like he's gonna chip it in all the time. I really like those. I like simple mechanics that are like, the worst one is still good. So it's just stripping away some of this extra stuff that it's hard to anticipate. It's hard to figure out what's gonna happen on some of these crazy shots. Man, that's so good. That's so good. If these greens were minty fresh, that's rolling down there nicely. All right, there's one way in the corner down there.
Okay.
So you might need to maneuver so you're not landing it on one of these pins. But let's run out a few long ones. Why not? So I mean, if I could do this, this would be the best. If I could walk up to my spot and go, there we go. But that's kind of the fall line there, I'm guessing. Pretty close to it.
Yeah.
So I kind of gravitate when I'm walking out here to kind of keep walking until I find what is like a straight line down to the hole.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like when I go more over here, there's curve attached to like it getting to the hole. Like from where my ball is, right?
Yeah.
Like my ball can't be here and go there. Like no chance. Yeah. So I like keep kind of thinking like apex,
kind of
fall line. It's kind of like over here somewhere. But this is like with a lot of speed. The ball needs to come through here and move. So I would imagine like this is plenty right here. So then I look at like a reference point of what's in front of me, and you've got that flag there. You need to land this ball probably like 2 or 3 feet just right of that flag, and then let it have it kind of cruise down here. And it now went from 30 yards to like almost 40.
Is this when I would take my 50 maybe, or?
Maybe. Let's try the 54 first. I would say that if you had a flat surface at 40 yards and you needed it to run out, that 50 would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But we've got a hill that's going to help us with the slope, so it's like really we're just trying to guess the hill correctly. And now it's funny, right? Like standing here for where this ball is, it looks like you shouldn't go too far right of that pin.
No,
but
it
I
looks
think
like I should be.
But I think we get like this is also a really good lesson is like we just charted it and we both agreed that that's exactly what it looked like.
Yeah.
And you stand here and you're like, nah, I'm gonna do something else. It's like wait a minute. So let's do it. Let's hit this ball
right of
this little pin in front of us. Let's get it to land a little bit further than that and see if it runs. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
I think we did a pretty good job charting, but let's
visually
see.
From here, it just looks like to take it inside of.
Yeah, right. And you'd hit that shot, and then you go, whoa, look at all the slope down there.
Yeah.
I think we did a good job.
Yeah.
So let's just see where you land it relative to what we want.
Okay.
Okay, so you are aiming about 10 feet right of the hole. So that's something.
Okay.
This is better now. Yeah, this is very good. Shoulders are aiming left, but your feet are perfect. Shoulders are still left. Shoulders, not hips. Yeah. There you are. Those guys. So now your shoulders are aiming where your feet are aiming. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Now maybe carried it too far. Not maybe. For sure carried it too far.
Yeah.
It's starting to break now. I think if it gets, I think this might be right. No, I'm pretty sure we got this right.
So that actually I could take my 60 probably then, eh?
No, I think you just need to swing a little bit less. Just
swing
carry a little bit less.
Okay.
The rollout on that was great. You just carried it too far and it went right through the brake. Okay, so
That was too little.
now you've just Goldilocks yourself. You got one that's too strong, one that's too short,
Yeah.
and now we need one that's just right. So we need one, that one landed like here somewhere.
Yeah.
The other one landed there. Like, I swear, it's right. We have it right. We have it totally figured out. You land that ball right here, and we're money. It's pretty close. Pretty close.
Yeah.
That landed here, like here somewhere.
Yeah.
So judging by the end of this putt where it's not really breaking much because the speed's a little slower, this is where like aim point tour read would tell you because of the green speed it'd be less break.
Yep.
We're probably having to land this to make it. You're probably having to land it like almost in the hole here. It's a great target. If you fly it in, I think it's a perfect shot. Yeah, try to land it right in the hole. I mean, that would be cool if you did that.
Ah.
No, but really close, right? So here's our best one. Wow, we have it right, man.
That was a bit more also, I think,
A little lower.
driving, right?
Yeah, a little bit more driving shot. Are you unhappy with the last three?
No.
No, I don't think so. I think like we surveyed, you executed them really well. Just got to get one to land right there in it. There it is, that's nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
Just
As soon as it gets past the hole there, it just goes flat and it goes back the other way. But it's like there's a little ridge that the one before that you had just caught it, took it down.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna hang out up top, but I mean like pretty good shots. The nice thing is I tricked you into thinking about just where you wanted to land it and you started to get really good at it and we started to think less about the technique. So we plant this seed where it's like, okay, I know if I land it there, it's gonna go in the hole. Then again, it becomes that shot through the trees that you've only got one option. You've already decided on the shot that you wanna hit. You're working on the technique.
Yep.
Now make the one option like the land point. Like see how close you can land it to where you want it to land.
Yep.
And then the outcome is kind of done for us.
Yep.
If we've really planned it well enough, which we did a pretty good job,
Yep.
then you're gonna get close from this distance. Here's some stats to sort of close out our evening. On the PGA Tour, on the greens, whatever footage they have for their first putt, 1/10 of that is the circumference of putt that they leave it in. So if they have 10 feet, they putt it within a foot. If they have 50 feet, they putt it within 5 feet. That number goes up to almost 20% when they're chipping from green side or green side out of the rough. So it almost goes 20%. So when we get like 30, 50 feet away, those circles get a lot bigger because we start to lose the control a little bit.
Yeah.
So you take it with a grain of salt that we're 40 yards away and we've left 5 golf balls of the 6 that you hit inside of what would be like, okay, I have a chance of making a putt here.
Yeah.
I definitely do. And the more that you do that, and the more that you see that, the more that you're gonna start to get better with it. And I think it was really big today to kind of go like, okay, this is a cute little shot that we started with. The ball's up in the air, we might add a little cut to it or whatever. But we kind of went like, let's just leave it neutral and kind of be a little bit softer. Let's like have good hands. Why can't we have good hands? And then your baseline chipping was just, there was so much going on at setup that you could see the multiple varieties of outcomes that could come from all of those variables.
Yeah.
So we wanted to get you to a place where it was just like, I putt like this, and I hit the ball in the center always, and the ball always goes where I'm pointing.
Yeah.
So let's kind of do that with chipping. Let's just make it so that it's a little bit easier, but we still have some of the characteristics of like good chippers. Weight over here, ball a little bit back, hands ahead, ball first, good rhythm, you know, and especially that, like, let's not level change. So let's just be kind of like a putting motion with a wedge. And then now it becomes your misses are great. Your great ones are like really great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think before my setup, it just, well, at least what I used to think before is like, if I come more from the inside,
Yeah.
that's how I could like potentially just like skull it, or just like,
Maybe.
because it feels like I'm sweeping
If
more.
you never moved your ball position,
Yeah.
and you went from slice to shallow,
Yeah.
then yeah, you probably would. It'd be really hard if the ball's sitting there and I'm like, I'm gonna like hit a flop shot, which that's a great place for me to go down at the ball up there. I'm gonna go, no, I'm gonna swing this from the inside and hit like a little rolling draw. Well, now my low point's gonna be like, I'm gonna touch grass here.
Yeah.
So like I'd have to do something where I'd like do that to come through. Like what?
Yeah.
Sometimes I just have to make the ball sit in the position that makes it easiest for me to hit that golf shot. And then just be aware of that. Like when you're changing angles,
Yep.
or the grass is tilted, like your low point's going to change everywhere depending on how you swing the club, how you're standing, ball above your feet, below your feet. So you just have to, I mean, really that's, I think the characteristic of like a really good golfer is they always have a measure of like finding the ball wherever they are. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
however they swing, they can touch the golf ball first.
Yeah.
Even if they're on an uneven lie, they just know how to kind of get to that thing. And that just comes with a little bit of experience and probably like making it a little easier for you.
When the ball's back, though, I don't
Yeah.
necessarily have to open my face, right? Just because just of how I'm hitting it on the arc, it'll
Yeah.
already kind of be naturally more open, right? Just
Yeah.
with the
Yeah, a little
or-
bit. And I mean, we're gonna accommodate. It's not like I'm allowing the face to open and close. This is not like me rolling this thing.
Yeah.
When I take the wedge back, I really keep a lot more of like palm down in my backswing to keep the face more on plane because I've taken it more vertically. So when I swing these shots, even if it's got a little bit of an arc to it, I'm not swinging this thing open and then trying to close it coming through. I've got this face kind of square, and then just the release is a little bit more of like a toe release to impart a little bit of release spin.
Yep.
Versus me making a swing where I let the face kind of swing underneath it and kind of chop the spin underneath, or open the face where I'm deflecting it away from me a little bit. It literally is just, I release like this, I release like this, or I release like this. I either release kind of open and soft and let it like die on the green. I release it neutral and I've got anticipation for that, or I release the toe over and I get that thing kind of rolling. That would be more like from where that guy's chipping, trying to come up the hill, rather
Yep.
than like giving it all the effort. I just release the toe and have it just run up the hill a little bit more for me.
Yeah.
These are advanced ideas, but I don't think that they can be too soon and you're like, I want these tools for around the green.
Yeah.
Cool.
Makes sense. Sweet.
Good man.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So that'll conclude this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this lesson. I can truly say that this lesson in particular, I think has had the greatest impact on lowering my scores. And I hope that you guys find that as well too. And I know I was going to have a little update in a future video, and I will make a formal video on that and in my life and how everything is going to shape up on my road to scratch journey. Since I know that you guys are true supporters sticking at the end, I thought I'd just tell you guys beforehand. Well, first off, I want to apologize just with the camera angles, and sometimes I might not get the correct framing. I'm a one-man show at the time. You might have picked up on that, my wife hasn't been there to help film my lessons anymore, but she does have a great reason. We are expecting a baby in April, so yeah, that's exciting news. So yeah, I don't know, just wanted to share with you guys, and yeah, I don't know what to say after that. Anyways, that'll conclude this video. If you enjoyed it, smash that like button, subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.